Hi yogis, my name is Beverly Layton. Some of you know me. I am a yoga instructor here at the Danbury Senior Center, and I'm here filming today to present you with a gentle yoga flow class. So welcome, and you might want to have a block handy. I have a strap, but maybe you want to use a belt, maybe a nice long scarf, and we might not get to them, or you might feel no need for them. I just want them there for you as tools in case you might need them, and feel free to have a chair about in case we do a balancing pose that might present difficulty to you and you feel more confident with a chair next to you. And feel free to have a seat while I'm sitting on the mat. We're just going to go through a few warm-up poses. Anybody who comes to my class knows I just love to have a warm-up. And before a practice, I just like to move my body. I'm happy to say that with yoga, as opposed to any kind of strength training with weights in a gym or using Nautilus and machines, you're able to move organically at all times. So if something doesn't feel right, just move the body a little bit, switch it up, change it up. Feel free. I am here to give you suggestions. They're not orders. So you do what you can and you modify. I will give you some modifications as we go. So yeah, let's get started. So I'm sitting on a blanket. You might want to have a towel or a blanket, maybe a pillow, and for cushion, yeah. So enjoy the class. So let's get started. Sitting up, close the eyes. Sitting up with a nice tall spine. Coming into the breath. Notice the breath. Begin to balance the inhale with the exhale. And let's begin to scan the body from the head all the way down. So taking it from the crown of the head, do a scan in your mind. Seeing where there might be some tension or tightness. And if you're feeling some tension or tightness, just take the breath and send it in that direction. Breathe into that space and create space. And you'll notice how that body part will just kind of open and become at ease. Feeling your bottom in contact with your blanket or the mat. Notice any kinks, maybe in the back, maybe your shoulder, maybe in the jaw. Loosen it up. Let the tongue rest comfortably in your mouth. Lips are together. Little space between the teeth. Coming to a place where you feel at ease and allow for the breath to move freely through the body. And you can open the eyes or keep them closed, and we'll begin by taking the hands on either side, fingertips touching. And let's lift the arms up, overhead. Maybe the palms come together, maybe they're just separate. And then flip them down on the exhale. And another inhale. Let's take a breath. Maybe the gaze comes up. And on the exhale, lower it down. And on an inhale, arms come up. On the exhale, I'm going to mirror you right now. We're going to turn to the right, left hand to the right knee, and take the right hand back behind you. Inhale and lift the torso. On the exhale, moving that right shoulder back, and take the gaze to follow. And just breathe here. Take 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Bottom of the exhale, and inhale, raising the arms up overhead, coming to center, and then we're going over to the left. So right hand to the left knee, left hand coming behind. Inhale, lift that torso, creating space, and exhale, rinse over to the left. Left shoulder back and the gaze to follow. 1, 2, and 3. On inhale, lifting the arms up. On the exhale, we're going to come forward, just taking the hands forward. And you don't have to reach out too far. When you found that the hands are out far enough, then just tilt the head down, creating space in the back of the neck. On the inhale, walking the hands back, and we'll take a few lateral moves here. So taking the left hand to the side, right hand is going to come up. Let's take the right hand to the shoulder to start. And inhale, we're going to bring it down. Bring it down. And on the inhale, on the exhale, we're lifting up. And inhale, come up. And exhale. And inhale up. And exhale over. One more time, let's go. Inhale, elbow down. And inhale, bring the elbow up. And maybe this time we're extending the arm. You can hook it over, but if it's comfortable for you, a nice stretch, feeling that nice stretch along the right side. Breathe, maybe looking up at the palm. And come up to center. And relax. Taking it over to the right side. Inhale, the right hand over, left arm coming up. Oh, sorry. Mistake. Let's do this. On the right side, taking the right arm up to the shoulder. Inhale, bringing the elbow in. Exhale, lifting the elbow up and leaning towards the right. And inhale. Exhale, bringing it over. And inhale. Exhale. And one more time, bringing it in. And exhale, lifting the elbow up and releasing the hand from the shoulder, either hooking it over or reaching. Maybe the gaze coming up. Breathe. And inhale, bring it up and forward. Good. And let's roll the shoulders back. Do some neck exercising. All right, let's tuck the chin down and just lean the head over to the left. Tuck the chin down and roll it over to the right. And do this twice more at your own pace, nice and comfortably. And down. And now rolling the head over to the left. Let's take the right palm out to the side and open and close the fist. So it's not in line with the shoulder, it's between the hip and the shoulder, and you're opening and closing. And let's turn the palm up and do the same thing. Open and close. Good, and bring that hand back and tuck the chin, roll it over to the right. And extend the left arm out. And open and close the hand. And flip the hand up. And open and close. Good. And bring that hand back. Tuck the chin, come back to center, lifting up. Good. And roll the shoulders. And again, like I said, we can move organically, so you can move one shoulder at a time. And if your hips are feeling funny, just move the hips a little bit. Good. All right. Do some things for our wrists and carpal tunnel. So let's have the palms facing together, press the hands together. Elbows are out if possible. If you need to, elbows can be down. It's perfectly fine. All right, some days are better than others, so. All right, pushing the palms together and feeling it in the pectoralis muscle, which becomes very tight unless we move it. Let's open the palms up and take the back of the hands together. Maybe the thumbs touch. They don't have to. For some people it's easier than others. I've been practicing this. So, and now we're going to take a dip down. We're going to take the fingertips in towards the chest, down, and flip it up. And close the palms. We're going to send the palms up. Elbows are coming together, lifting up and open at the wrist. Close it up and bring the elbows down. And let's do that twice more. So pressing together And then opening up the palms, bring them back to back. Maybe the thumbs touch. Dipping down, taking some water, let's say. Let's say it's a lotus flower. And coming up and together and lift up, elbows coming together. When you reach the top, open at the wrists and close and down. Let's do that one more time. So together and flip it open, back to back. And dip down, coming back up, flipping the palms and send it up. And take it down. Good. And release and shake that out. All right. Roll those hands out. Another good exercise. Take the back of the hands together. Make a fist. And just open. Move the fists back and forth. Yeah. It's really good for people who are on the computer a lot, which a lot of us are right now. So you feel it over here. And then you know that you've been on the computer way too long. All right, and shake that out. All right, let's come up to a tabletop. So, and if you have a blanket to protect your knees, or a towel, maybe a pillow. I like a little bit of cushion. The hands and the wrists are right below the shoulders. And we're in our table pose. Let's do a few cat and cows, okay? So on an inhale, we're going to stick the tailbone out, send the chest forward, and look up. On the exhale, we're coming into that cat. Exaggerate the cat. Really lift. And inhale. Coming through and up. Exhale. Into the cat. And inhale up. Exhale. And inhale up. Exhale. Let's do a few elliptical cat and cows. So we're in our neutral position and we're going to come back towards our heels. And on an inhale, we're going to take the forearms to the floor, if possible, sending the chest forward. Send the collarbone forward and come up. And don't worry how it looks. Coming into that cat and roll it back. And inhale, coming forward. Up into the cat. And take it back. We'll come through one more time and then we'll reverse it. Inhale, coming through. And up into the cat. And come back to the neutral spine. All right, now we're going to take it the other way. Coming into the cat. Come forward. Stretching out the hip flexors a little bit. The hip flexors over here. And bend. Come down towards the forearm, sending the tailbone back. And come up into the cat. Over. And down. Coming back. And up. And down. One more time. Coming up. And down. Good. All right. And shake that out. And if at any time your wrists get tired from having them pressuring onto the mat, try using your fists. That often helps the wrists, okay? Try pushing into the fingertips more than the heel of the wrist as well. Okay, so let's work on the hips a bit here. Lift that right hip up, and we're just going to circle it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the other way. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and extend the leg out, in, out, in, out, and place that foot down. And let's lift that right arm up, opening the chest, sending the hand back, gaze up, breathe here. And on the exhale, slowly bring that hand back down. And we'll do bringing that knee in, and we'll do the other side. Inhale, lifting that left leg, and circle it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the other way. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and up and down. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and lift and open and close. 2, 3, and 4, and place the left foot down, lifting that left arm up on the inhale. Open it up. Breathe. Four or 5 breaths here. 3 and 4. Bringing that hand back down, and bring that knee back down, and just move the hips side to side. Oh yeah. Okay, moving the hips over towards the right. We're going to come back towards the heels, almost like we did before, but we're going sideways now. So it's an elliptical kind of sideway motion. Moving the hips around. And might as well do 4, because that seems to be the number. And of course, we got to go the other way to even it out. So coming back to neutral, and then take it over to the left and come back. Good. Okay. Now, just bear in mind, when we hold a posture, we're creating strength. Okay? So when we're pushing down into one of our body parts, it's because we're strengthening. We either strengthen our bones or we're going to break them. So we're not going to break them. We want to strengthen them. So... and I've said that before, so. All right, so leaning on the left knee, And the left hand, try to use more of your core than anything, and less pressure on your palms or your knees. Okay, lifting that right leg up and back. Toes are pointing down. On an exhale, we're going to bring the knee in towards the nose. And send it out, push it out. Inhale. Sorry. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, extend, and bring it in. Inhale out. Exhale in. And out. Exhale in. Inhale out. And let's just bring it behind you on the left side and peek over that left shoulder. See, try not to drop that right hip. You want to keep it like that and just form that half moon, if you will, on the left side. So you're allowing for your right side to get a nice stretch. And inhale, bring it back to center and place it down. And let's come into a child's pose before we go on to the left side. So just take a nice child's pose, coming back, stretching out the hips, the lower back, move side to side. Good, and then come back to your tabletop and we'll do the left side. So extend the left leg out. And try again not to drop the hip. You want to keep it level. And then bring it in. Exhale. And inhale, extend it out. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Extend that left leg out. And then bring it over to the right side. Maybe taking a peek over that right shoulder to the left toes. And breathe. Inhale, bringing it over and in. And again, let's come back to a child's pose. You might want to take the knees a little bit wider. Toes can touch and come back. And again, just move the hips side to side. If that feels comfortable for you, maybe you want to do a figure 8 with the hips. All right. Just feels really good, and it doesn't matter what it looks like. Well, I guess it matters what it looks like, but do what feels right for your body. Good, and let's come up to the tabletop one last time. This time we're going to tuck the toes and come back, as if we're coming into a child's pose, and it's not going to be as comfortable, but it's allowing for a nice stretch in the toes. Just take a moment here and breathe. And then inhale, coming back to the tabletop, and let's lift the knees up, and we're going to come into our first down face dog. And slowly pedal out the feet. Don't worry about your heels touching the mat. Just pedaling out, walking the dog. Really listening to your body. And be patient with yourself. These are trying times. and your body is feeling it. So, and maybe you haven't done anything for a while, so be kind. Practice kindness to yourself. Good. Now straighten the left and bend the right knee. Good, and let's reverse that. Bending the left and straightening the right leg. Good. And if you have a blanket on your mat, you can move that away because we'll do a few standing postures now. So we're going to walk our feet to the front of the mat, to our hands, without coming up. Feet are slightly spread apart. And take an exhale and forward fold. Let yourself go here. Move the hips again, side to side. Grab hold of the opposite elbows and move them in and out. And then just shake your head out, just nod it out. It could be a yes motion of yes or no. And your knees can be slightly bent. They can be very bent. Do what's right for you. Okay, taking the hands to the waist, we're going to come up slowly. Hollow out the belly and engage the core. Don't use your back to come up. Nice flat back and rise up to standing. Good. So standing at the front of your mat, your big toes are about, I don't know, they could be 2 inches apart. Just make sure your feet are straight ahead of you. And think of your hips like headlights, all right, at all times, unless I tell you something otherwise. All right. We're going to take an inhale, bringing the arms up, and they could come up sideways. If you have issues bringing them up sideways, bring them up forward, right in front of you. Bring them up. And on the exhale, we're going to bend the knees and take the hands back. And then on an inhale, we're coming up again. And exhale. Forward fold. And one more time, inhale, coming up. And exhale, forward fold. Taking the hands down, bend the knees really deep, and let's step the feet back, coming into a high plank. All right, so everything is level here. And on an exhale, we're going to come down to the knees. And then we're coming down to the chest. Feel the tops of the feet on the floor. And inhale, roll the shoulders back. And inhale, come up to a baby cobra on the first one. So the legs are pressing into the mat. Toes are pressing into the mat. Exhale, lower. Now we're tucking the toes. And then push up, come up to the knees, and then lift up into a down face dog. Whatever that down face dog means. Don't worry about your heels touching the mat. You can certainly bend at the knees, but if you're bending at the knees, try and get the chest towards the knees. You really want to stretch out the front body here and breathe along with the back body. And on an inhale, we're going to slowly walk the feet to the front. Exhale, we're taking a forward fold. Feel free to bend at the knees. And on an inhale, we're coming all the way up. Arms come up overhead. And exhale. And release, and let's roll the shoulders back. And if you have a block and you want to use a block, you might want to use it for the next posture. We're going to step the right foot back, not too far. Arms are going to come out. pivot. Right foot is coming towards the back of the mat, and the left foot is parallel with the short end of the mat. Place the block down and place your right hand on there and lift the left arm up, coming into a triangle pose. If you don't have a block, feel free to have your hand on your shin and open it up and breathe. Gaze up. And on an inhale, we're coming up. If you have the block, take it with you. Pivoting the feet. Switching the hands. Inhale, open the arms. And exhale, you're facing towards the front. The left foot is towards the front of the mat. Right foot is towards the short side of the mat. Place the block down and open up. Breathe. And inhale, rising up. And exhale. Let's move the feet a little bit further apart. And we're paralleling the feet. Feet are along the sides of the short side of the mat. Hands come to the waist. Inhale here. Nice, just tuck the tailbone down. Don't try and arch the back all the way back. Elbows are coming back though. Release the shoulders and exhale, take a forward fold. Hollow out the lower belly as you fold, engaging that core. Lower, 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 as far as you can go. Then release the hands to the floor. Shoulder distance apart. Inhale with a flat back. And then exhale. Take a forward fold. Crown of the head towards the floor. It obviously doesn't have to touch the floor. And you can bend at the knees if you need to. Maybe you want to use a block. You can use a block as well. Inhale, taking the head up. Exhale, taking the hands back to the waist. And inhale, rising all the way up. Good, and exhale. Inhale, taking the arms out to the side. And exhale. Lace the fingers back behind you. And inhale, opening the chest, send the knuckles down. On the exhale, we're coming forward again. Remember to hollow out that lower belly, protecting the back. And breathe. Arms coming up, off the back if possible. 2, 3, and 4. On the inhale, let the inhale bring you all the way up. And exhale here, and let's walk that right foot in and come back to the front of the mat. Okay, coming into a warrior pose. Inhale, we're going to step that right foot back first. And we're going to have our hips face forward. So you can even take your hands to your hips to turn your hips forward. And you want your knee in line with the ankle. You don't want it too far forward. You don't want it all the way back. And you want to be able to see your toes. So maybe the second and third toe. And then you know that your knee is in line. All right. And let's take that right arm up. And exhale. Let's exhale over to the, we're arcing over to the left. So you're feeling a nice stretch on that right side of the body. Breathe. And inhale, coming up. Bring the right hand back to the waist. And now we're going to open it up to the right. So gazing back, open. Look behind you. Inhale, back to center. And inhale, lift that right arm up. And then the left arm up. And now clasp, the hands come into prayer. Exhale, we're going to take a twist. So we're going to try and hook that right elbow over the left knee. And gaze over towards your palms. 2, 3, 4, 5. And on the exhale, we're releasing. Take the hands to the floor and step back with that left foot, coming to that high plank. So settle in. On the exhale, come down to the knees and then the chest. And then take the tops of the feet to the mat. Inhale, rising up to that cobra. Exhale, lower down. And inhale, we're going to tuck the toes, lift up to the knees, and then come up to a down face dog. Pedal the feet a little bit. And let's walk the feet all the way to the front of the mat. Take an exhale and forward fold. Inhale. You can take your hands to the waist and float up, flat back. Good. And now let's take the left foot back. So left foot comes back and we're coming into a warrior on the left side, or the right side, I should say. Taking the hands to the hips and turn them to face forward. Settle in, make sure that right knee is in line with the toes. The right knee is in line with the ankles, but just check to make sure you can see those toes. And then on an inhale, lift the left arm up. And we're going to arc over to the right. So there's a little bit of a balance here. Inhale, coming up, take the hand back to the waist, and now we're going to open it up to the left. And open, look behind you. Inhale, turning forward. And inhale, lift the left arm up. And now take the right arm up. Taking the hands into prayer. And on the exhale, we're twisting. Left elbow to right knee. And breathe. And inhale, take the hands down to the mat. Step back. And we're going to come into our high plank and lower down to the knees, then the chest. And feeling the tops of the feet on the mat. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, lower. Tuck the toes and inhale, we're coming back up. And now we're just going to come into a child's pose. So let's take that wide-kneed child's pose, toes touch, and come back. And if this is too much for you, you can take your hands back behind you. Maybe feel your heels getting a nice stretch that way. And inhale. Let's just come to seated. I'm going to sit this way just so that, for purposes so that you can see me. You can be facing the front of your mat. All right, so we're like this. And let's take the sole of the right foot on the inside of the left thigh. And then take your hands to your hips and turn your torso facing that left flexed foot. You want to flex your foot just to protect the knee. And on an inhale, we're going to take a nice easy-going flow forward fold. We're going to take a nice easy forward fold forward. Here we go. And slowly fold forward. Maybe resting your forearms, the back of your forearms on the mat, on the floor, on your mat, and then tilt the head down. And breathe. On an inhale, lift the head up, and exhale, release. And straighten that out, shake it out. Good. Let's bend that right knee and take the sole of the foot over that left leg. And we're just going to take a little twist here, grabbing hold of the shin or wrapping yourself around. Flex the left foot and turn. And breathe. On an inhale, we're turning forward, and exhale, release the posture. Good, and we'll do the left side. So sole of the left foot inside the right, flexing that right foot, taking the hands to the hips and turning towards that right flexed foot. Palms are up, and exhale, take a forward fold. So wherever you're at today is just where you need to be. And inhale, head up. Exhale and release. Stretching out that left leg, just shake that out a moment. And then bend the left knee again, and let's take the foot over the right leg. Again, you can hold at the shin and turn, or you can wrap your arm around and get a better stretch and turn. Make sure your right foot is flexed. And inhale, turning the head forward. Exhale and release. Good. Let's lay on our side. So I'm going to lay on my left side and come down. And the first exercise I want to do with you, take the knees into a 90-degree position. And you're not resting on your left arm right now. You're going to have the left arm out in front of you. I'm going to take the right hand up to the shoulder, and we're going to circle the elbow, coming forward and back. And come forward, up towards the head and back. And you might hear some clicking. It might be me clicking. And go back. And by doing this, your body's getting used to what you want it to do. So you might get a little bit more flexibility out of this. So ideally, I want you to open the chest. All right, so take your time with it. And if this is enough for you, then just keep doing this. Otherwise, maybe you want to remove the hand from the shoulder and straighten the arm so that it's the full arm going around. And you can even trail it along the floor. Do that one more time. Maybe going back so far that that right shoulder touches the floor. And even if it doesn't, just leave your arm in a place where it's comfortable. All right, maybe it's in a cactus. And take that left hand, reaching for the top of that right knee. Okay, just above the crease in that right knee. And open and close that right foot. Flex that foot. Open and close, bending at that knee. And that's working your hip, it's working your IT band, the quadratus lumborum, and what else is it working? It's working the sciatic nerve. Yeah, this is great for sciatica. And slowly release. And take the right hand to the mat, push up, and we'll do the other side. So laying down comfortably. Right arm is out, knees are 90 degrees, and take the left hand to the left shoulder. And we begin. Bring the elbow forward and up and back and forward. And you can move the torso with it, obviously. Don't restrict yourself. Movement is good. Nothing should be painful. You don't need to take anything to the edge. And listening to your body, seeing what it's able to do. It's what you can do, it's not what you can't do. And if it feels good, you can begin to extend the arm out as it comes around. Maybe trailing along the floor. That's your shoulder joint. It needs that movement. The less you move it, the more stiff it's going to be. It's a ball joint. It's meant to rotate. And when you're ready, you can just leave it behind you, wherever it is comfortable for you. Maybe that left shoulder is coming back towards the floor. And then take the right hand above that crease of the left knee and just open and close that left foot. Yeah. And if you feel that tightness, that's the tightening of your hamstring, back of your leg, and your IT band. And maybe one side is different than the other. You have to allow for that. Good. And slowly bring that left arm back to center. Push up. And we're going to do one more exercise on our sides. All right, so let's go back over to our left side. This time we're going to lay down on our left arm. Bringing the knees again into that 90-degree position. And settle in. And now take the right foot and stick it out. So you're making an L with your body here. And slowly we're going to exhale, bring that leg down and take it back. And bend the knee, bring it forward, and kick it out, and bring it around. In a bicycle motion, but really, really listening to what your body's telling you. And you're staying flat along the floor. So it's a real elliptical kind of motion. You're not lifting your knee up towards the ceiling and doing this. You're just sticking your foot out and bringing it around. And back. See how far back you can bring that. And lengthen. Taking it back. Up. One more time. Let's take it forward. And now bring it to rest on the left leg. And just breathe here for a moment. Settle in. This is somatic exercises. So you're actually contracting to stretch. All right. Now we're going to lift it up and we're going to send the bent knee back. And then straighten it out once it's back. And then bring it forward. And bend it in. And send it back. Straighten. And bring it forward. And bend the knee in. Send it back and straighten. Coming forward. Twice more. These are slow, steady movements. They're not fast. And coming forward. Bend the knee in. Take it back and straighten. And take that right big toe to the floor behind you, as far back as it will go. Yeah. And then take the right arm up and have it come over, covering your ear. Stretching. Nice stretch on the right side. And breathe. And slowly release. Good. And let's come up. Take your time. And we'll come to the other side. Love these exercises. Lay down. Knees 90 degrees. And we'll start with our left leg up and straighten it out in front, that L shape, and then bring it back down. Take it back, bend the knee, bring it forward, and straighten in front of you, down, behind, and bend it in. Send it forward, straight, and around. Make sure the foot is flexed. And one more. I think that was 5. You can do 5 each way. And take a rest. Take a rest before you go backwards. Let your leg feel the benefit of what you just did. And then lift it up. With the bent knee, send it back. And then straighten it out behind you. And bring it forward. And then bend it in. And send it back. So you're really feeling it in that hip flexor. Our hip flexors are what we use to get us in and out of chairs, off the toilet, off the couch, away from the desk, in and out of cars. I think that's 4. And 5. Bringing it forward, bend the knee, send it back, and then straighten it, taking that left big toe. And then take the left arm up and over, really stretching out. This is the arrow pose. So think of yourself as an arrow. Get a nice stretch. And slowly release on the exhale. Good. And let's roll onto our backs. Feet on the floor, hip distance apart. And let's come into our low bridge. All right, so on an inhale, well, let's first move the pelvic bone up and down, all right? Tucking and untucking. And you'll find that when you tuck, your back lays flat on the mat. And then when you untuck, you're creating space. So do that a few times, just working out the lower back, lumbar spine. And then when you're ready, flatten out the back and then lift the glutes up and open it up. Maybe the chest rises towards the chin. And if the chest rises all the way up to the chin, then just move your chin away. And now you can have your hands flat on the mat. Maybe you lace the hands underneath and take 5 breaths. And lower it down nice and slow. The way you peeled yourself off the mat, you want to come down the same way. And take a resting breath here, and we'll do this twice more. Okay, on an inhale, lift up, peel yourself off the mat. Inhale. And breathe. 1, 2, 3, and use your gluteus maximus muscles, your butt muscles, so that you're not using your back muscles. And 5, slowly lower it down. And resting breath, let the glutes go. And on an inhale, lift up. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly lower it down. Good, and let's hug the knees into the chest and rock side to side. Good, and now let's have the right ankle by the left knee. So we're making a figure 4 with our legs. And I want you to thread the hands through the legs, grab hold of the back of the left hamstring, And on an exhale, see if you can draw that left quad in. And for some, this is a very difficult pose. This is reclining pigeon. Just breathe, leaving the back on the mat. Flex the feet to protect the knees. And slowly keep that right ankle on that left knee and take the sole of the left foot back down to the mat. All right, now listen very closely. You're back in the original figure 4, and we're going to take our left knee over to the left side, keeping that right ankle on the left knee until the sole of the right foot comes to the floor. And maybe you're holding on to your pant leg. Maybe you can grab hold of that right ankle and take that right arm up and over in a V, and maybe the gaze comes up towards that right hand. That's getting into that piriformis and the psoas muscle. Those are two very important muscles that connect the bottom of your ribs to your hip. So we're stretching that out. This is one way of getting to that spot. Maybe moving that right knee away from your chest. And inhale. And exhale. Bring that right arm in, and let's bring the knees back. Uncross. And let's just move the hips side to side. We can windshield wipe over to the right. And then the left. And over to the right. And left. Back up to center, and let's do the opposite leg. So the left ankle over to the right knee. And when you're ready, thread the hands through, grabbing hold of the right hamstring. And breathe, maybe drawing that right quad closer to the chest. Make sure the feet are flexed. And on an exhale, slowly lower that right foot to the floor. And then we're going to tilt over towards the right, keeping that left ankle attached to that right knee, coming over and place that left sole of the foot on the floor, maybe grabbing hold of the pant leg or the ankle, and lift the left arm up and over, and maybe the gaze follows. And once you've settled in, maybe opening up that knee away from the body, away from your chest. And you can feel that nice stretch. Good. And bringing that left arm back. Bring the knees back, uncross the legs. And let's do that windshield wiper motion again. And let's bring the knees together towards the chest, hug them in, and lift the head up to try and meet the knees. And taking the head back Take the hands to the top of the knees and let's just circle out the knees one way. We'll go 3 times one direction, 3 times in the opposite direction. Let's switch it up. And take the soles of the feet to the mat and slowly release the legs and have the palms face up. Close the eyes and come into your Shavasana. And stay here for anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. And for all intents and purposes, when you're done, just scan the body, see how it feels. Notice how you let yourself go for this short time that we've been together, doing something for yourself. Finding the ease. And when you're ready, on an inhale, let's take the arms up overhead, reaching. On an exhale, we can bend the knees in. Stay here a moment. And on an inhale, turn to your right side and have a rest there for a moment. And when you're ready, on an inhale, push into that left hand, lift yourself up, and come back to a seated position. No doubt you're feeling better than you did when we first started. I know I do. Bringing your hands to your heart center, bowing your head towards your heart. May you be happy. May you be well. May you have calm, clear minds and peaceful, loving hearts. May the benefits of our practice help those and be to the benefit of those that are unable to practice, physically challenged and unable to practice. And may the light in me shine within the light in you. Taking the hands down, namaste. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. Feedback is always a plus. And if you enjoyed this, maybe we can continue to do these videos. Thank you very much. Be well and be safe. Take care.